Welcome back, gang. Time for this trial to begin in earnest.
So far, this trial has been amazing. Let's see if we can't help Yasuhiro shuck off these false allegations.
Billy, those were the corniest puns I ever heard.
I'm just playing it by ear.
You may proceed to shoot us. We actually had... I'm the opinionator.
Are we square?
We actually had to sit and think about that one for 15 minutes. Normally it's spontaneous when we start doing the puns, but...
Sometimes you gotta put them together.
So, we left off by starting at the very beginning.
Let's continue.
4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself.
Right?
We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up.
Jeez.
So we went to look for everyone.
3 in a row. Yeah. 3 portraits. Followed by Makoto and another one.
That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
That's what happens when you split up.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant.
When are we going to talk about this part? Because I really want to talk about this part.
I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
I mean, he's even kind of leaning to the side.
Yeah. It's not impossible that he's even kind of leaning on the wall while Hifumi is sort of slumped down, pulling his hands over him.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi.
And if you have so little mobility in that...
How could you drag away someone who's struggling?
How could you grab them in the first place? Couldn't they just push you off?
Yeah.
We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
And then, if a guy who can't see and can't bend his waist is somehow clunking forward, swinging a hammer, how is even somebody as big and presumably not so nimble as Hifumi...
You're gonna get hit by it.
I mean, come on!
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
If you could even just see, it would make that more plausible. But how would they have the ability to construct something like that right now?
Yeah.
So, we were willing to believe that in the beginning, but the more we find out...
But not long after leaving the nurse's office.
What's wrong?
I saw a shadow. Something moving around the top of the stairs. Go where I need you to go at this point in time. Oh, I didn't say that in the flashback.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that...
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor. And I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong?
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
I saw him. The strange costumed man.
How could he go upstairs?
With extreme difficulty.
Yeah!
Yet another point. Like, knowing that the suit is even worse than we thought it was...
I think the suit was empty upstairs. No, because he was told to meet them in the rec room.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier when we found
him
out
in the second room.
How mobile it was.
Yeah.
But since he got it at 1 and you couldn't take it out, because I had thought the suit was empty too the whole time, but he got taken at 1, so... I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then...
Also, looking at how the suit's designed, it seems like it can't be empty. Like, you have to wear it in parts.
Right,
like the way Hina was wearing it.
Yeah, that's true. And that wasn't made clear until, really, we saw the blueprints, but it wasn't until Hina when it really sunk in.
Right. Oh, yeah!
Ah! What do you mean, Gya! Gyaho! Dohya! Doria! I mean, what is up with all of this? Yeah, what he said. That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office! This is bad. Come on, we have to go back!
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups.
Again,
Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi dead.
Or did we?
Dun, dun, dun.
Shall we work at this point next?
Yeah.
We have so many places to
Right?
go off of. We just have to wait for somebody to bring something up, and then we can work it out.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
I mean, that's why the scream was there. It was coordinated to make sure that everyone would find it at about the same time.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
Because if they didn't discover them at the same time, then it
Then
would...
this- yeah.
Why was there no body announcement kind of thing? Then somebody would want to check the dead body. And only Kyoko really has been checking them. Until Makoto finally did.
She might reveal that Hifumi isn't in as advanced a stage of rigor mortis as Kiyotaka. And reveal that later in the trial.
We
Possibly.
must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time. Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
Although that's not so strange because he did say something at the very end before he died. So he did die later. We already know that.
That's true.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
It's always Celeste. Hifumi's body has disappeared. At my command.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Because we don't really care about her. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
And that isn't an accident. It was
Right.
exceedingly intentional.
Celeste showed up when she needed to and be like, everyone, this body has gone. Come this way.
Even
that
if-
way, that'll give someone on the 3rd floor plenty of time because they're all on the bottom floor.
Even if it isn't Celeste, which I can't imagine that it's not. but
Right.
Even if it isn't. I mean, if we find out more evidence, that's different. But even if it isn't her, you have to, like, whatever theory that comes up, you have to reconcile all of these moving parts and moving bodies. Because if somebody just wanted to murder someone and get away with it,
There's no point moving the body.
or killing an additional person.
Right.
Motokuma, you want to jump in and give us another clue? Like the, hey, there's 2 of me standing right here.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying, I won't say there's no accomplice.
And after some time,
And, hey, a blackened can kill more than one person at a time. Hey, do you want me to tell you who it was? Is basically what he's been saying.
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
No?
The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
There's the whole locked door aspect, but I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Honestly, we don't know where to start.
Yeah!
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
We just look at each individual section and find all the contradictions.
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree with that. That's...
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
What did I just say? I mean...
Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Okay. I mean, that happened first, after all.
True.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Kiyotaka. We already have the dolly. In order to...
That was very nice.
In order to... I can't... Typically. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to learn how to read, no matter what. Okay. Monokuma File 3, wristwatch, and Yasuhiro's message.
Well, I really doubt it's Yasuhiro's message.
What was Yasuhiro's message?
Come meet in the dining hall.
Is it that or is it the account? Okay,
It was the account.
Let's just pay attention.
We already know what order they were killed in.
Okay. God, that's not what I meant to hit!
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's
Okay,
true that Hifumi
that-
was killed with Justice Hammer 3. While Taka's
Alright. Blah, 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 blah.
So it's obvious
Let's watch that one more time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've messed up enough already. We don't need to do it again.
Regarding Taka, I wonder if we got what perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
But we don't.
Taka came
Yeah.
last.
Especially if the only thing of your logic for that... Okay.
Wait!
Because of the
Can't-
numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Like, okay, also that statement right there, the numbering has to be the one because it's got the white noise getting in the way.
That's true. That's
Okay.
true.
It's obvious Taka
Did the
came
file
last.
say what order they were killed? No, it didn't, or this
No,
wouldn't
it
be a
didn't.
thing.
But we know that Hifumi was still alive when Taka was dead.
Oh, we know! We know!
Well,
we
no,
just
no.
need to prove it.
Like, because when the wristwatch stopped.
Yeah. Because the wristwatch said it's 6, but
But that's not what they're...
But the statements, okay, so this
Yeah,
doesn't say
yeah.
when it happened. It's not that simple. And the statements, yes, the regulations. That's extremely important here. The statements were the numbering and what order. So the file doesn't say anything about it.
Correct.
Okay, and you were right. The
And
Yasuhiro's
Yasuhiro's message.
yeah, that's irrelevant. And the wristwatch. I mean, the wristwatch is what proves it, but that's like the next step, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Because the wristwatch doesn't have anything to do with what order.
Or
You
with
can't
the-
say the wristwatch, so it's got to be what order, right?
Yeah! So we have to remember
You
it.
got to remember to do that.
Regarding Taka's
Okay.
death, I wonder if he died
we
before
just need to do this really slowly, unfortunately.
We
Yeah.
already know what order they were killed in. Taka
Ha!
came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering
Boom!
of Justice.
Yes!
Woo!
What's wrong?
Because there's nothing that actually. The numbering of the hammers is part of the whole plan.
There's
Yeah,
no reason
yeah.
to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
That's
Yeah.
just trying to make us think that. That's
Yeah.
why they. That's
Oh,
why
this
there
child's
was-
hard!
That's why there was a 1 and a 2 to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their
I
actions.
feel like I've been doing this a lot.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order.
And by not providing any information about it, it's just relying on basic human psychology, and the brain's
Yeah.
need to distill some sort of order out of what's going out
Right,
of chaos,
right.
you know?
But in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
And here's where the wristwatch comes into play.
Right.
Then, let's see the proof.
It's like Ace Attorney style, where
We keep jumping ahead.
you can't jump ahead. Which, I mean, every Ace Attorney game is about jumping ahead in the evidence, because that's what I've always done, is what
Me
you've
too!
done.
I
Right.
failed so many ones doing that.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. I feel like there was this wristwatch that says 6 a.m. Watch, tie, wristwatch. Okay, thank goodness. Back.
In order.
Oh, in order.
I.
I was just trying to.
They were looking for S.
Has it really always had to be in order?
Pretty sure. I mean, that's what it's showing at the bottom.
It's Hangman though, dude. Why would it have to be in order all of a sudden?
I don't know. But
does,
that's what
though.
happens, yeah.
Huh? Did we just not?
T.
Yes, I know it's T. Good gosh. What? God, lose so much on Hangman.
Got our butts kicked by Celeste, too.
It's ridiculous.
I've got it.
It's our own fault. But
wristwatch.
how did we forget everything about trials? It hasn't been that long, has it?
Well, we took a break. That's probably the big one.
Ah, I guess you're right. Anyway.
See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey, you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting?
Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch.
It's almost 10 o'clock. You know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
Unless he was looking at his broken watch, but why would he have done that? That's just awkward.
Official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
Right.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
Uh-huh.
Right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
Well, not quite.
Yeah.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
And we were drawn along, so we saw them in order.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
That's correct!
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
And the way that Kyoko is trying to do this is...
I think she's trying to make the killer out themselves accidentally. She seems good at that.
Well, she did that exact same thing last time, but what she's trying to do is to completely divorce Hifumi from anything else that's going on until we have to consider it.
Right.
Murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
Well, are we gonna get to that one? When are
No, we
do
need to
that
stick
one?
with Kiyotaka's
Yeah.
first. We need to complete it,
With him
and then we'll move on to
we're all
Hifumi.
safe.
If that's possible to do.
Right.
I mean, maybe we need to... How can we complete it? Maybe we need to go on to Hifumi to... Well, we'll see.
Oh yeah!
You just want to keep doing that?
Oh yeah!
Ah! What was that? Didn't we already do this scene? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi! Just like we did this a few minutes ago. He's in the nurse's office. Bad, gotta go
When we
bad.
heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Right.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
That's kind of closer to what happened than what the
Yeah.
current assumption is.
Yeah?
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
I mean, there's one excellent way to prove this.
Since all of us were there
Yeah.
together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
Because Celeste screamed and then...
Yeah, lured them away.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment.
And the only way that Celeste could have ensured, or the only way that Hifumi could have gotten up to walk away is if Celeste was there to lead anybody else there, and she was the one saying, you stay here, this, that, and so she picked the person who was broken up about it, and then led them away to make sure to give Hifumi enough time to do it.
Right?
And just everything points at her so strongly.
At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Pull that off. There's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
That's true.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies.
Sort of. I mean,
Technically,
she's
yeah,
completely
yeah.
correct.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
As expected, it's going to be like they're going to try and pin it on Kyoko.
So what now, Kyoko?
And Kyoko can't provide her own alibi.
Right.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
She says as one of the prime suspects at this point, which is fair, but she's right. We have to focus on.
We have to do it in order.
Yeah, we have to take apart every data point first.
Yeah.
So instead of who,
Yes.
I propose we start talking about how.
Yes.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
If we have the how on all of these, just like we've done with the previous cases, that will lead.
Yeah, that'll lead to the who.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said...
Her name pops up again.
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time...
Well, technically, he just has to go from the first to the second to be out of their sight.
Oh man, yeah. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
The reason she can't tell where she was is she found a way out, maybe. A potential way out.
Well, maybe not a way out, but she found something
She found
else.
something she doesn't want Monokuma to know. Maybe.
And then there's the whole alter ego disappearing thing, and then the 16th student and the spy thing. There's this stuff going on, but that doesn't have to do with this case.
Yeah. Sorry, it just popped into my head and I wanted to get it out in case I forgot.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've even talked about that before.
Right.
What? How?
If the dead body
Yeah.
move itself.
Don't you hug now!
Body moved on its
We got a second body discovery announcement, people.
And we have proof.
Yeah.
Not another ghost.
Not another ghost? Are you saying that Hifumi is a computer program?
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying
is that I'm holding a bloody microfiber cloth with an anime character on it that we already know Hifumi likes?
Yeah.
That was found in the trash can of the nurse's room?
We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
And by starting to consider this, that's when it makes you think about the accomplice stuff, which Monokuma has been shouting in your faces for some time.
He's been oddly quiet this trial.
Wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own.
Yes.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Nobody checked!
Yeah.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Do I have some piece of evidence that completely establishes this? Surely not. Okay, hope we don't lose, because we might.
It has to be equipment room bloodstain. Doesn't it?
Well, let's just go through and see what we get.
Yeah.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
You see that?
Yeah.
No.
We have to take chance he was alive.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
Was it?
Hifumi's dead body had been
Oh, this is brutal!
and that is why the announcement was made.
Right?
Are you really so sure about that?
Right?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
This is mean! The white noise is all over all of it, and so we have to hit the white noise out of the way and then suck up the last one and then bring it around.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to go through it one more time.
Yeah. Okay, that's the contradiction. His dead body had been found, which means he was actually still alive is what we need to hit it with. Because that's true.
Yeah, someone else's discovery. Well,
Because that's true. So that's the contradiction.
Yeah, you're right. That is false. The other, that is true.
False.
That is true. That is false. But
we should check the truth bullets just to make sure.
Okay.
I think just to be safe.
But someone else's discovery, it should be someone else's discovery. I will check the truth bullets.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
But the reason it has to be that is the white noise has appeared over every statement, over every single one. There's no way it's not relevant to this. What were the truth bullets that they gave us?
Account.
Yeah, well, it's not that.
Okay, it's not that.
Because she's
the
lying.
Wound blood stain.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with this.
Oh.
Okay, whatever the other one was, let's just run through it one more time.
Are you saying that when we first
broken wristwatch?
Yeah.
So no, it's not that.
He was actually still alive.
No.
So still alive doesn't prove anything. It has to be the third one. It was down here, right?
Yeah.
And you know that
okay, let's see if we can make it.
Hifumi's dead body, and that is why.
Are we really so? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Woo! Made it! I didn't even miss!
Are you saying that
okay, and then it was in the center of the screen, is that
right?
in the nurse's office?
I guess I could do that.
There's a chance he was actually still alive.
Okay. When did it come up?
After this, I think.
Oh,
no. After this.
Without a doubt.
And you know that.
Damn it! After this! It's after this!
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
Here we go.
Hifumi's dead body
had been found.
Dang it, you missed.
And that is why the announcement.
Darn it!
to signal someone else's discovery.
That's ridiculous.
This is so intense.
Okay.
Why aren't we recovering health?
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Who?
Woo!
No, that's wrong.
Man, like having no life has actually made me a lot calmer.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intense?
Well, you're the kind of person who usually thinks more rationally in a crisis.
Yeah,
whereas I tend to freak out often.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, count the number of times you use the word panic.
Yeah.
Like, you frequently use the word panic, whereas when things get difficult for me, I kind of become a turtle.
Yeah.
There's good points and bad points to that.
Just another difference between us.
Yeah.
Learning about yourselves through video games.
It's very... Well, the purpose of the humanities is to teach you about yourself and the world, and I would call video games humanities.
Yeah,
like literature.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not on the same level.
Right.
But they're different types of entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, everybody here watching this now understands what I mean by that, or you wouldn't be doing this. So.
Right.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
I worked really hard to think that up, by the way.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
Crazy coincidence, isn't it?
Oh.
There's just no way that a coincidence like that could be planned on occurring, so somebody would have to set it up that way.
Right.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Just
but
like
the
I
second
brought
one
up
came later. Yeah.
just like I brought up when it first came up.
Right.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
He'd never miss an opportunity for something like that.
Right.
And like you just said, there were 2 announcements.
Yeah. He's
What
too
do you say,
meticulous.
Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue.
Hint, hint!
So I can't go into too much detail.
Hint!
But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man.
I kind of did.
Asking if you're a lazy bum.
That completely answered the question, because 3 people found it with Kiyotaka for the first time.
But we don't know if the killer is included.
When this first came up, we asked you guys about this, and the response we sort of got was, maybe. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But if okay, who found it the second time when Hifumi had actually died?
Us, Byakuya, and Celeste. And then I think Sakura and Hina also came in at the same time. Because they were hanging out inside.
Was Celeste there?
Yeah, she was there with Byakuya. Because she's the one that found the body.
Right, in any case, that's getting into the weeds. We already... I mean, in a way that's just sort of circular and relies on memory of something that we're not quite certain on. But the other way that a body announcement would be played... See, he said the only time a body announcement would be played is when 3 or more people discover a dead body. So if the body isn't dead, there's no body announcement.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that was plenty.
Yeah.
Huh? He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered
there you go.
Which means, even if we find the same body again
there
later,
we go.
He won't make the announcement again.
I mean, we had the right answer.
Yeah.
We were just sort of swirling it all around, trying to look at the wrong
Then
thing.
Why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
You were still unconscious.
See, we were so concerned with he wasn't dead because that's the case, rather than trying to prove it point by point.
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
See, it's jumping ahead on the evidence again. The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time...
When both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
What?
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
Yep.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And the only reason it could have been like that...
And that's just part of it.
Well, I guess you can argue that that's not the case, that he was the accomplice in this, but... I mean, we're sort of jumping ahead.
Right.
We know that that's the case.
There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in
the handkerchief.
nurse's office.
The main piece of evidence, after all.
I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
What does that have to do with anything?
If we had evidence for that, maybe we could present it, I guess, but...
Worst logic I have ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, she's right.
Honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Au contraire, ma chère.
Let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Uh-huh.
You only say that because you don't want to talk about it. There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. Oh my god, why don't I just look at these truth bullets? Who else could this be? Why would there be a bloody cloth in the trash? I mean, I kind of feel like they could have brought this one up first.
Yeah?
Okay, so it'll be
The
Hifumi's
glasses,
glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Correct.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
Yeah?
And the next time we
Body
saw his
disappeared.
body, it was in the repository.
Correct.
But when you compare his body before being moved
Here it is.
and his body after being moved,
Is there a difference?
other than the change in how it was
Right there.
positioned,
Well, I shouldn't have gotten to...
Dang it.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh!
See, I just need to freaking stop and do
Well,
it the
here's
way
one
that
thing
I
we do
said.
know. The first time we found and his body, other than the change in how it was positioned,
Yeah, I don't know why I
there
did
was
that.
no notable difference.
That's
Yeah,
it.
see, that's what
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Then, was he really...
Of course not. It is impossible.
See, I just moved too fast again.
Here's one
Sorry, that was
thing
also
we do
partially
know.
my
The
fault.
first time we found
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It's always my fault when I try and advise him on these games.
And the next
Other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Bang.
No, that's wrong.
Boy, we're not going to be able to make a single error when it comes to the next part.
Right?
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
Why don't you pull out the stinking cloth?
Right?
Glasses.
If you would have pulled that cloth out earlier!
The fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Well, it's gonna come up.
You'd like to feel the rest of us
I mean, you're right.
You were there when I found it.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless.
He wouldn't be able to do anything if he had blood on his glasses.
And why would somebody need to... Why would they bother doing that? But if it were Hifumi himself, he would have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
I mean, that part is pretty... Ping!
Got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear.
When you look at where it was found and who's on it,
it's Hifumi.
There's no way it's not Hifumi.
This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
And nobody else knew who that character was.
Right.
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess. I think.
Oh, good job.
I guess she knew.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
Which is true.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Hifumi, Byakuya, and Toko. It could
Certainly not.
And
Byakuya is like, burn it with fire.
Byakuya is gonna be like, it wasn't me! But in any case...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
And the thing is everybody is going to believe that.
Yeah.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
And my tongue.
More importantly, where were they?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could say that it was in there earlier.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
I'm sorry, it's a trial now, so I can't be wise.
Just shut up, man. If you open your mouth, it makes you look worse, so I think you're in the clear at this
What I'm
point.
saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
And then he was like, oh no, I can't, this has blood on it. That looks suspicious. I'll just throw it away. Or, well, now that it has blood on it, it's useless, so I have to throw it away.
We can't keep it on his person, because that would they're definitely going to check his body.
Right. Not only that, but he even earlier had expressed that when the camera got damaged, when the super limited camera got damaged, he said that he had gone to great lengths to get.
It's not mint. Get rid of it. I don't care.
Yeah, so now same with the cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
All right, give us the reason why the killer would do it.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Or are you saying that someone in Robo Justice was like, and then put it back on?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
Yes!
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet.
Exactly like we said long ago.
The impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Did you have to phrase it like that?
Then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
If you look at the refrigerator right over there.
Yeah.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
Not that any of us know how to do a blood transplant fusion.
If he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
What?
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
Yes!
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
We've only been saying it for some time now.
Right? Hifumi!
So it was Sakura, right? Hey!
it could only have been Hifumi.
Okay, we can make one more error now.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
Right.
The door was locked?
Don't worry. Just go.
You were unconscious. It's okay.
Just go pass out somewhere.
After the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside.
Yep.
Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
Uh-huh.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
It's not like somebody could have just... Not like anybody could have just walked up there and knocked on the door and he would have let them in.
He convinced us all he was dead. And when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Now the question is, why would Hifumi have bothered dragging the body off? Now, there's only one way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't come up with any reason that he would have had to do any of that.
Other than he was just following orders.
Because then the person who knows how to get into that room shows up.
Bam!
And didn't Monokuma say that machine, the air purifier, was a time machine?
Kind of, yeah.
And then there was that picture that fell from the duct in the room. It's all I'm saying. I mean, I buy that it's an air purifier. Maybe.
But that means he took part in the murder.
That's correct, unfortunately.
I just can't believe it.
The only way... He wouldn't have done it on his own. I couldn't imagine he would have ever done anything like that on his own.
Right.
But when you look at his personality, him getting bossed around by an appropriate sort of person... I mean, look how he responded to Celeste just berating and insulting him before. He just immediately bent himself to her will. Plus, he has... I mean, this is Hifumi we're talking about. What was he drawing?
Yeah.
We have like this kind of harsh goth lolly with one of like the finger spike.
Whatever those things are, yeah.
Okay, who has like this refined attitude. There's no way he's not just going to follow her around like a lapdog if she asks him to.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Yes!
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
The note.
The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
That he just happened to be holding.
I got it!
Yes! More health!
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What?
Flagpole.
In his pants?
I don't want to talk about flagpoles!
Yes, his pants.
Are all the girls going to chime in on this?
Sakura?
Okay, well... Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. And Kiyotaka is holding on to the scrap
that fits
and Hifumi had this in his hand.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Well, yours was different.
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said...
The rec room at 1.
I can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
Dude!
Oh, you were doing so well at the beginning of this chapter.
If he was told that he had to write the note, he'd write it beautifully.
In other words,
but just not read
Hiro
it.
got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants!
Hifumi's pants!
Please give us more easy ones to recover our health.
Use this note
Please.
To trial Taka and murder him.
Uh-huh.
Hello, over here. Objection! Objection!
What are you objecting about?
She's gonna say something about how she was there?
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Oh, yeah, she doesn't know.
They weren't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy.
TikTok, huh? Okay, we already got the clock.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it?
Yeah! Which was she calling her milk sack or
Milk
something?
sack, yeah.
Okay, so she is creepy and frightening, especially when she's waving around those scissors.
However, she's wrong.
She's completely wrong.
I guess the scrap's gonna be the bullet. Well, we'll find out. We're gonna watch the whole thing through first.
No matter what, this guy starts to shriek out.
Oh.
Spotless hammer, huh?
Right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy.
But remember what the note said.
The clock. Or the watch.
What time did it say to me?
Okay, yeah.
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with
Right there.
TikTok.
Shut up, man! Don't you shriek out right there, okay?
You have the note, right?
Move over to the end.
But remember what time did it say?
Right there! Right there! What has happened this whole time? I'm like, we gotta go slow because we're nearly dead because of blah and blah. And you're like, it's right there, man! It's right there! It's right there! It's right there!
I'm the mastermind!
You are the mastermind! It's you! It's all your fault! Now, I am going to look at the regulations! Ah! I mean, you're right. Okay.
The time doesn't matter.
Whoosh. I said whoosh.
Woo! That was close.
That's why I have that focus up. Woo! Yeah, it was close, I know.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
We're coming back, Billy! Now don't tell me
I hope there's not another bullet time battle.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered.
I bet we will have another bullet time battle, though.
We've already proven that using his wristwatch.
You can't say that that's just a complete coincidence.
Right.
You have to address it in some way.
But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the
So
note.
clearly it was for him.
I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
And we got some more physical proof if you need it.
Yeah.
Well, when you put it like that. No further objections.
She's just causing trouble anyway.
Yeah.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
There's no way that she is actually, Genocide Jill, I mean, is actually going to get in the way or do anything bad.
Right.
So she'll just be like, wah, ha, 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 until we need to start killing things.
Yeah.
In which case she's going to be excellent. But
I hope we don't get to that.
But she doesn't, I mean, you know, like fighting stuff.
Okay.
Okay, well, what did you think I meant? Well, I guess the way I phrased it in
You phrased it in a very
Danganronpa.
specific way.
Yeah, I did. But I just really don't think that anything she's going to do is really going to get in the way in some way.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less.
Well,
let's not dwell on that.
At least he was kind enough to us not to stuff the Princess Piggles cloth down his pants.
That's true.
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
He would have had it in hand.
And he doesn't want anybody to see this.
Right.
Because it starts to, you know, it establishes that there's a note.
He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead. Show
Scrap
us.
of paper.
Yeah. Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka is Kiyotaka's scrap of paper.
Oh, yeah.
I got it!
Give us more help, please.
One more correct answer and we can make 3 errors.
Gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Bang! There you go.
From Taka's scrap
Hifumi's note.
We've basically proven that Hifumi is involved in any case, and...
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
But now we have to prove that Hifumi didn't murder Kiyotaka, but he did, probably.
He did, yeah. That's where the altercation,
that's actually what happened.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note.
So, did he kill himself, or did Celeste kill him? I mean, Celeste killed him, but we're gonna have to be able to address him killing himself in there.
Right.
There's only one way to explain it.
As for the multiple murderer thing...
That's probably why they said we needed to frame it like this.
Yeah. Well, Monokuma will make all the voting quite clear when it comes down
We're gonna have to vote for the still living Blacken, I'm sure.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip.
Or we vote twice.
Maybe.
That'd be fine too.
Leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
He knew the name of the robot suit.
Right.
In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Well, I don't know about that, buddy.
Sorry, man. Just close your mouth. It just keeps making it worse for you.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely
mostly dead.
We already established
the
this.
second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind. The true killer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Hifumi didn't kill Kiyotaka. It kind of can't be proven either way.
I guess
we
so.
Don't. I mean, it could be either way. Either could be true, but we don't at this time have any evidence for it, right?
That's true.
No,
that's true.
No. Where was Celeste when that happened? So it had to have been Hifumi.
Well,
because
it was at 6 in the morning, so there wasn't any accounting for.
No, you're right. You're right.
There wasn't any accounting for anyone.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
Oh, no, I'm an idiot. I'm absolutely an idiot. We still have to go into the motivation of there being an accomplice in the first place and how that's difficult, but the reason that I'm an idiot is there is no way... Oh, wait.
Celeste has alter ego.
Okay, sure, but I'm not...
Okay, sorry.
I was going to say, there's no way that someone would allow someone else to be a murderer because... No, wait, let me take a second to phrase this right. One of the points we had not resolved was wondering why accomplices would
go along.
Now, you're right about alter ego. That's probably the case that Celeste has it, or at least said she had it. Maybe not. I mean, you're probably right. But if the accomplice knows they're going to die, no one will be an accomplice. But if someone comes up to someone and says, "Will you kill someone?" the accomplice isn't being screwed over.
Hifumi didn't know he was going to die. I gotcha.
Celeste was helping Hifumi. I mean, it was Celeste's idea.
Yeah, and then she capitalized.
That could be why Hifumi went along with her.
Yeah.
Either that, or it is, I'll do anything for alter ego, including sacrifice my life?
I think your first idea is the right one.
Because then it doesn't matter that Hifumi was the Blacken because Celeste got her ticket out. Because if she killed Taka in the first place, she wouldn't need to kill Hifumi.
Right, yeah.
Because she already got her graduation ticket.
That's true.
Okay, got it.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
But the alter ego thing is compelling, and that could very well be it. That could have a lot to do with it.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus.
Walrus?
She's just really upset that Aoi has,
fine arts.
Yes, fine arts.
Owl and a walrus.
Cuckoo Cuckoo. There was the reference.
When they were killed bothers me, too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
Is this actually going to make sense? This one probably will. Huh?
Yeah.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah. Because, I mean, according to the Monokuma file...
Good job, Yasuhiro.
The way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same. With them having similar fractures and all.
Ah.
What do you mean, you know this? How many times have we talked about it?
Well, but it never really mentioned how similar the wounds were. Like the similar fractures, it didn't go into that detail.
No, it didn't, but I mean, the first thing that we discovered when we saw it is, I bet it was the same one. I mean, there's Jan's spotless hammer.
Right.
But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found
After washing it.
But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hey, buddy, I was doing really good at the beginning of this chapter. Shut up.
Is Yasuhiro going to be one of the last people left in this game?
Oh.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
That wasn't a compliment.
I only say that because he's made it this far. He's already been accused.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it seem like he's not going to be as important in the next chapter?
Probably.
Just sort of a narrative
I hope
thing.
He doesn't die.
It just that suddenly jumped out, especially with that stupid prediction about the mother of our children, and you're like, okay, wait a minute. That is a 20%.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
I mean, we've established when Hifumi died, so...
There's also no guarantee that either of the Justice Hammers were used to kill them.
That's what we've said. It's like, it would be reasonable to assume that, but we have literally no proof that the Justice Hammers were the murder weapons.
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
No.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
Where was Hifumi brought Kiyotaka's body into the repository, and Hifumi died in the repository. So let's look at the repository!
Hey!
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Number 0.
You go talk to Yasuhiro about this stuff, okay?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
They're there for the correlation of 1 to 4.
Yeah.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
It also had to be Celeste's idea. This just occurred... there's nothing new about this, but we hadn't brought it up yet. The only person who could have designed all that stuff was Hifumi.
Right.
Because he's the only person with the technical skill to make such elaborate things.
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
a hammer...
If it was the same type of fractures, it would have had to have been the same exact sized hammer.
Right, like we said some time ago. It has to be that hammer that was wet in the repository when we found the bodies!
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out, even though when the commentators saw it in the repository, they instantly knew what it was. Well, anyway, I gotta figure it out. Where's the spotless hammer? Spotless hammer! It's that one! And now we play it 5 times in a row to make sure that we're right.
Was used to kill Hifumi.
The spotless hammer.
Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
No!
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out.
Yeah, here it is.
How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Irrelevant.
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
I mean, it kind of is, yeah.
Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more!
Yeah, murdergear.com/hammertime!
The murder weapon had to
There.
be one of the Justice Hammers.
Woo!
Yeah, I knew you were right on that one.
I was nervous too!
job, Billy. You've redeemed yourself. High five.
Until the next time we play Persona 5.
No, it was something completely different.
The next
still a hammer, but
the next time you yell out right there, I'm gonna ignore it. Just saying.
But seriously, a different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository.
Like we've been saying, what?
Could have
Yeah.
easily used that to kill
because he was in the repository.
Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris.
Except.
But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh!
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones...
Something as big as your head! Oh wait, no, sorry, what?
That's a really fun song, you know? And the repository has...
4 hammers missing.
MurderGear.com! MurderGear.com! I'm never gonna get that out of my mind!
Sunday.
Mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Or just use them! Because there's 4 that are missing!
And if you look at it, they correspond to the sizes of the missing hammers!
Yes!
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma
Right.
file's note about the wounds being similar.
That's also a reason for Hifumi to go to the repository to clean off the hammer he used to kill Kiyotaka.
Well, that was done early, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was done way early.
So the hammer could have
Okay,
already
that could have been
clean.
irrelevant. Never mind!
Well, I mean, I'm not willing to just brush it aside so fast. See, you have that right there. It's that. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's that one right there. And then, as soon as I point out a simple contradiction, then you're like, never mind, it's gone. It meant nothing. Like, oh, just let's take this a bit slower.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
I get easily excited, I'm sorry.
And whoever did that is the true thief.
Right.
The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Of course you do!
Uh-huh.
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
We've been talking about this for so long.
There's no need to rehash it.
We don't even need to
So
comment.
the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together at great length! At least, that's what we thought at first. But...
Huh.
yeah, this isn't what I was expecting at all.
Blue tarp! No, I'm just kidding.
It's the blue tarp!
I think we're gonna have to remember something, then use it.
Right.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
Uh-huh.
even if more than one person is complicit in the
Right.
murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive.
We know!
The rule holds true. It is simply impossible that two people
That's-
work together.
That's the contradiction.
Maybe.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Yeah, so this is the one.
Okay.
Because there
Two
was only one murder at first.
impossible and 2 murders.
I think.
Want to lose.
Well, but there's only one chance it can be! At most, we'll take 1 damage. Because if one isn't right, then it's the other one.
No, there's more chances than that. See, that does not jump ahead. The truth bullets are irrelevant. It is impossible that 2 people work together on this. In this case, there were 2 murders.
But that's true, so it has to be that one. I can't think of any other way. Because why would Hifumi work to kill himself?
Applies if there's one murder.
And
In this
focus.
case, there were 2 murders.
And get extra time. Okay, here's hoping. This makes sense,
Based
but
on the rules that have been laid out for us,
We're just so paranoid.
I'm afraid.
one person is complicit in the murder. Only the one who actually
Him.
carried out the act can assuming the rule holds true.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Woo!
It's wrong.
We're gonna avoid a game over by the skin of our teeth!
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
That's true. At a baseline level, you would have to think of it like
If
that.
there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
How much more concise than all of our blathering about it.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme.
There is none.
Yeah.
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
Other than death.
I mean, you'd have to be insane or be coerced.
However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
But you figure that coercion, that they would be able to, like, turn that coercion around. Like,
Yeah.
like run around, oh my god, guys, oh my god, this happened, can you believe it, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go along with it, then you're signing yourself up for death.
Yeah.
That's why you would actually have to make them realize there's a reward, like we just discussed. Oh, we're rehashing it!
People could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
Oh!
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime.
So, if they both committed a crime, they're both blackened. Is there something that says only one blackened can graduate?
I thought there was! I thought Monokuma...
Time to actually go to the regulations!
I thought Monokuma said there can only be one blackened.
Well,
Didn't he?
nope.
That does say anyone
yep.
who kills a fellow
Okay.
student. So, we hadn't realized that part, but nonetheless, we had logically deduced why it would be the other.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so we do get this dual murder idea, right? But there's only one problem. The other the victim of the dual murder was Hifumi, not Yasuhiro or something. If there was really, I could have sworn Monokuma had said that there could only be one blackened, but even if that's not the case, and I'm wrong, because the regulation seems to allow for it. I mean, that anyone who kills a fellow student will graduate unless they're discovered. If they were doing this in good faith, why wouldn't they have just gone ahead with, say, Celeste killing Yasuhiro?
That's a good question.
Why didn't she do that then?
It's possible she lied to Hifumi and was like, okay, now that we've met up here, we're going to move on to the next plan. Bam!
Just to get it right away, but...
I'm not sure, but I see what you're coming from.
And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Right.
They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
Ah!
Is that how it works?
Maybe that's why they did it so early, so it would take a while for them to find... It's possible she just outright lied to him and told him something that was complete,
That's what we were assuming from the beginning.
Like she reinterpreted the rules to make it sound something believable for Hifumi.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents.
I'm fine with that. Like I said, I kind of feel like we don't really have any proof of it.
True.
I guess that matters. Does it matter? We don't know. Monokuma hasn't told us the rules of how this operates.
Right, he might chime in here in a minute.
And why was I thinking... I mean, it could have just been that my memory was wrong, and I'm 100% wrong. I'm totally willing to accept that, but don't you remember that scene where they were discussing this? Was I just taking... Where Monokuma hopped up and was talking about it, did I just take away completely the wrong thing?
No, I know the scene you're talking about, but unfortunately I don't fully remember
Neither
how
of
it
us
went.
actually remembered that precise detail. Darn it!
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
Maybe she was able to get to get Hifumi to go along with it by having him kill Kiyotaka specifically.
Yeah.
I still find it hard to believe that he would hurt anybody, but now things start to get a little crazier when it comes to Kiyotaka at this point in time, especially with Alter Ego gone, and that could be why...
She's probably holding it over his head.
If she took
Much like a giant mallet.
Yeah, that would actually force him to go along. She decided, and you could say that she decided not to do that on Kiyotaka against Hifumi, because there's no way that, Kiyotaka didn't have the requisite skills.
Right.
Then again, it could have been
Plus, he probably wouldn't be reliable enough as an accomplice because of how unstable he was.
And the ultimate moral compass thing, and especially after finding out that Mondo was a murderer.
Yeah.
That would be really, that might actually make him go, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Or he might go along with it.
He's unpredictable, is the thing.
Right.
Whereas she could reliably manipulate Hifumi.
Yeah, manipulate is the right word.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Yep.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Don't you think so, Celeste? Slowly turns to look at her.
No, the choice of accomplice doesn't seem odd. Though perhaps if Hifumi hadn't disposed of the cloth about the glasses, we may not have been able to track that down. But then we would have had to have addressed how did somebody make this, who designed it, and we have the handwriting on the note, so we still probably could have connected it to Hifumi.
Yeah.
But Hifumi is the only person who could make something like this.
Right.
Or if that's a problem, or if she would have come up with a different plan entirely without somebody with these artistic skills.
Right.
Then it would have... It has to be somebody she can manipulate because she's intending to kill them at the end.
Right.
She couldn't be Byakuya.
Right.
Because if this was going to work, if the two killer thing is that straight, couldn't she have come to Byakuya and been like, we're the only two sane people here who understand that you can get around...
He wouldn't trust her.
Well, she wouldn't trust him, but if they both...
That's true.
But anyway, see, the argument that we're coming at this with is that Hifumi is somebody she can reliably manipulate, and nobody else here is.
Yes.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing.
She's an ultimate.
It's almost unnatural how good she is at this. Never mind the fact that I'm not paying attention to myself.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
And now Celeste's going to try and blame Kyoko.
We can't. It hits the almost too amazing.
Yeah.
Hey! We don't have any proof. We were assuming there would be some more evidence that would come out.
It might still come.
Because, if it doesn't, we can't prove it's Celeste.
That's
All
true.
we have is not circumstantial evidence, just evidence that would make sense.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense, but just because something makes sense doesn't mean it doesn't have any...
We have to have a truth bullet to present, is the bottom line.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's true. For instance, if Kyoko really is that amazing, she could have set it up to make it look like it was somebody else.
That's true.
For instance.
That's problem numero uno right now.
We just need the proof. And, we, as in Makoto, don't have that proof right now. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And don't you dare tell me
that's wrong.
That this is going to be wrong.
Here's my answer.
Yes.
It was Celeste.
Thank you.
So I
I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Very much so.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
I know we don't have any proof, but now it's time to get you to mess up.
Yep.
Let's talk about all the weird inconsistencies in your account. Shall we?
And how you have such a heavy hand in how things have come forth.
Just like Makoto said.
Yeah.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Uh-huh.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
No, that's not going to fly. You've already proven that you can order him around.
That I would go within 10 feet of that shit brain, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Doesn't this reaction
Kind of
prove it?
Yeah!
If she hates him that much, why not
Kill him!
manipulate him to kill him?
Pardon-moi.